folks, it's Jeff Fuzzy Wenzel from the Woodshed Agency, and you are listening to a new episode of Successfully Funded. Here we go. Let's turn it up. Turn it up. All right, crowdfunders, how's everybody doing out there in the beautiful, wonderful land of crowdfunding? I am your host, Jeff Fuzzy Wenzel of this podcast space. This podcast is called Successfully Funded. If this is your first time here, welcome. Welcome to this what looks like a log cabin behind me. I'm coming at you from the new office at the home in the new house. If you're a regular listener, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But again, if you're a first timer, you're probably like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. But yeah, this is Successfully Funded. And what we do here is we like to talk to project creators while they're either in the middle of a campaign or their campaign is just finished up. And that way we're giving you guys out there, the listeners, the most up-to-date information on what you've got to do to become successfully funded with your campaign. So that's what this is all about. But I am also the CEO of Woodshed Agency. And what Woodshed Agency does is we help project creators get to that. And this is our podcast. So again, thank you guys so much for joining and jumping in. Man, it's a new year. It's 2021. Who's excited? Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Like, woo! Oh, no, is that the wrong one? Maybe we should do this one. Happy New Year 2021. Listen, I've got sounds. Listen, what else do I got in here? Look about. Oh. I want to be taking advantage of those new sounds that we've just added here. But, so again, I talked about this a little bit at the end of last year about how we're going to kind of change up the podcast just a little bit. And we're doing it right now. We're right in it. If you're watching this on any of the live streaming, make sure you guys leave comments, chime in, ask questions in this portion of it. And then later on, we're going to switch over to the interview. And then at the end of it, we're going to actually have a musical guest. We're instead of ending every episode with some Sugar People music, we're actually going to go into the archives of what we did in the GBS days. So we're going to be going in, like today we have the Balkun Brothers are going to be on, and we're going to watch at the end of this, if you stay tuned long enough, we're going to get to the end of the episode where we watch them perform one of their songs over at the old studio days. So how about that? But what else is going on? So today's episode, just so you know, this is episode 225, and we're going to be talking with Tao from the company Olive Union. I'm sorry. Did I just say Olive Union? What I meant to say was Olive Pro. My bad. Whoop, 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 whoop. Wait. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that much. I mean, the kids hate that already. They like that sound. I mean, I hear that sound in all their YouTube, but I don't know if they're going to like it on the podcast, but whatever. So now we're going to be talking to Olive Pro, and what they've got is a really interesting project where they have a 2-in-1. It's a hearing aid, and it's Bluetooth speakers, right? Headphones, all built into one. So very, very unique. But man, these guys are up over $750,000 in their Indiegogo campaign. So monster campaign. So like I said, that interview is coming up here in just a little bit. So again, stay tuned. Or if you're in the podcast area, you can hit the fast forward. But man, 2021 is here. It's a new year. All kinds of new stuff happening. Man, I'm excited. I don't know. You guys excited? Got some things over here. We got a dog. Buddy the dog is now in our lives here. He has officially been adopted by us. He is an American bulldog with some possible pit in there. I don't know. We have paperwork with a whole bunch of different information on it, but he's been awesome. I'm not going to lie. Buddy the dog is pretty sweet. And so it's been really nice having him. My kids obviously love him and adore him and are hanging out with him all the time. Super into it. And yeah, he's cool, man. He's a really cool dog. Really cool dog. So we got that going on. We got through all the holidays. We had a great time. Honestly, potentially one of the best holidays I've ever had. And I think it's because, death wasn't knocking on the door every 5 minutes with my dad dying. I mean, it was like a decade of that, right? So it was always like, this is the last Christmas. This might be the last Christmas. This might be the last Christmas. We didn't have any of that energy, which was nice. Also, this is the first time I took over as host duty. I guess that I will be taking that on. That's the new thing in my world here. So we got to host, and, start to kind of create some new traditions and kind of do things, I think, a better way. Maybe not a better way, but an updated way. Maybe that's the better way to say it. We weren't fighting over, holly, the wrong holly glasses being put out or some other ridiculous thing that we just, you just like, what are we talking about? So we didn't have any of that. So honestly, it was great. I wish we would have been able to have my grandma up, but we went down there Christmas Eve. I made her a dinner and got to hang out and check in, which was great. So I was super excited to be able to have those types of, these new interactions, right? The new ways that we're doing it. So super exciting. But that was Christmas. So I hope you guys all had a good holiday. And then New Year's was nice. Hung out with our pod buddies. Which was exciting and relaxing and just kind of low key and chill. So just a lot of new stuff, man. New house, new traditions, new dog. My kids went back to school today. How about that? Woo! Wait. Do it again. Yeah, kids went back to school. So we got that. They're at school right now. It's only a couple hours, though. Actually, I'm just looking at the time I'm recording this. It's like 10:11. They'll be home in like 45 minutes. So the amount of work and like, oh my God, we got to get them out. We got to get, like that stress came back, which we haven't done that stress since like, what was that, March? Of like, we got to get out. We're running late. Got to get in the car, And then they'll be home in 45 minutes. They probably just washed their hands the entire time they were there anyways. So I don't know what's happening. But hey, we got them out of the house. They're there. They'll be home in a little bit. Super exciting stuff. Man. Oh, and also, what the hell happened last week? Yeah, I lost Wednesday and half of Thursday with just getting sucked into the news. And I know I probably shouldn't say that because I'm sure my clients are listening. They're like, wait, what? I don't know. The civil unrest, this attempted coup. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty emotional on that Wednesday. I've never seen anything like that. It's something that will stick with me for a long time of just watching absolute trash pigs, the worst people on the planet, being manipulated, lied to, not even knowing what they're really doing. Again, now, mind you, if everything I'm saying right now offends you, click next. I'm done. We're done. Right? We've all given. It's like 3.5. It's almost 4 years of like, all right, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Not taking anything. You're trying your hardest. You're not. You're a liar. You're a monster, and we're done with you. Right? We're done. I don't think we need to go into that mindset of like, oh, we've got to unite and come together. I don't need to unite with white supremacy, Nazis, cop killers. I don't need to unite with that. I don't need that actually in my life. So I also don't need people in my life who are trying to take over democracy in our government or storm Capitol buildings and want to kill people. Like, I don't need to unite with that. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy and nuts, but I don't need that in my life. I'm not looking for that in my life. So, yeah. I don't want that jazz. I don't want it. And I don't think any of you guys want it. None of you guys should have that. You guys don't need that stuff. It's bonkers. Bonkers. Yeah, shake it off, right? Just shake it off. What's next? So yeah, got a lot of new stuff, man. A lot of new energy. It's feeling good, putting together the goals for the business. I got them up on the whiteboards next to me. We're trying to sit down and go, all right, what do we got to do? What's going to be successful? What's not? What do we need to shed? What new things are we doing? And we've got a lot of new things. So, one, podcast, Mondays and Thursdays. That'll continue to be happening. Tuesdays, we got new blogs coming out. So if you want to go over and check out some of that stuff here, let me put up a link here real quick. So again, if you're watching this right now, you can go over right now. You can go over to woodshed.agency, and you've got podcast episodes there. You've got blogs. You've got all kinds of opportunities to connect. And if you are not a subscriber of this podcast, you just found it, you got to go over to iTunes right now, hit the subscribe button, and really you can go anywhere, Spotify, Stitcher, it doesn't really matter. You just go anywhere, right? Check them all out. We'd love to have you kind of jump in. But before we do that, before we jump in the interview, let's check out kind of what this campaign is going to be looking like. So for you guys who are visually looking at it, you can see that this is the Aleph Pro 2-in-1 hearing. Very, very cool. Got good, interesting rewards out there. The campaign's ending in about 6 days, but over 3,409 backers. So tons and tons and tons of backers. I will say the conversation is a little challenging. We had a little bit of a language barrier there, so you will have to kind of focus in, really set in to kind of make sure we're hearing everything. But great conversation. And again, this project, the Olive Pro, it's very, very cool. So with all that said, I mean, again, make sure if you're out there and you're you're going over, go to our website, check out stuff. Pick a time to talk to me. Click the consultation button in the top. Have a conversation with me, man. Before you launch that campaign, trust me, you got to do that. And if you're not ready for what's happening right now with iTunes, I'm just kidding, not iTunes. What am I talking about? With Apple and Facebook, read our blogs right now, because you guys got to be up to date on what's going to be happening here. So a lot of cool stuff going on, man. It was exciting to get back to this. I've been like just giddy to to get back here and just get the podcast going, just kind of get everything back going after a couple weeks off, only doing a little bit of work here and there, just kind of checking in. But man, it's exciting to get back into the grind. So with all that said, let's jump into it. Let's get our first interview of 2021 out there. All right, here we go. The red light's on. I hope everybody's comfortable and we're okay, right? We're gonna make a podcast here, so hopefully nobody's ever all nervous, right? We're all good. Awesome. Well, let's do a quick sound check. What'd you have for breakfast this morning?
Coffee.
Some coffee. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything fancy
just
in that
coffee.
coffee?
No, just coffee. It's just black. Yeah, without milk, without sugar, just milk.
Okay.
Yeah, just coffee. Sorry. Yeah.
That's great. Well, instead of talking about your coffee preferences, why don't we discuss why we're actually doing this podcast today? Why don't you do me a favor, introduce yourself, and tell my listeners what you're currently raising money for over on Indiegogo.
So like Jeff, thanks for the invitation, opportunity to introduce like Olive Union, Olive Pro. Like my name is Teo, like a CGO from the Olive Union, and then Olive Pro, the campaign like Olive Pro in the crowdfunding camp, which is Indiegogo, is like a 2-in-1 hearing aid, hi-fi Bluetooth earbud. It works by connecting to your like a smartphone and conducting 5-minute hearing tests, optimize the sound frequency to the user unique hearing needs. Like unlikely traditional hearing aid, traditional hearing aid, like you would experience to take a trip to the like audiologist to do this for you, and then expensive cost. But the Only Pro, customization is easy, can be done along with the smart app. So this device also like doubles as a hi-fi Bluetooth earbud. It's HD speakers, balanced armature drivers, produce the great sound quality, and then you can use it just as like you use the other any other like a Bluetooth earbud.
Very cool. Very, very cool. So I guess let's go back a little bit. Where is sort of the idea of this? I don't think everybody just kind of all of a sudden jumps into making earbuds. So like, how do you guys start this process? Where's the idea? Where's the, hey, I sketched this on a napkin, I think we should build this. Where was that idea?
Sure. Like we start our company year 2016. Like our mission has been always like a provide affordable hearing aid for everyone, and making a hearing aid just like glasses, affordable, well designed, easy to use. Our founder and CEO, Owen Song, like he was like living and studying in New York, Columbia University. Like he has a family relates like suffering from the hearing losses, and then he's seen like many cases like with the hearing aid devices. Like he just like use it and then not to use it. So like he was kind of curious about that, and then it's like start the businesses. So we study about the like a market, and then we want to like make the world like wearing a hearing aid just like a normal as wearing glasses without social stigma. There's like 100 millions of hearing losses, but the most of them like suffer and sustain their life without the hearing aid. There are like a major 3 reasons cause the current market situation in the hearing aid industry, which are the average price of hearing aid is very expensive, like starting 2,000 to 6,000 US dollars.
Wow.
And then unlikely like wearing glasses, like people not that friendly to the like who wearing a hearing aid. And then last one, hearing impaired thing, they don't deserve what they pay for, and performance and fitting issue. Of course, like they want to listen to the music while wearing the hearing aid. So like we designed the Olive Pro, and the previous model which is like Olive hearing aid. I think the Oli Pro is our third product in our line, and then but our best yet. We've only produced like a hearing aid products up to now, but the Oli Pro, like we further blurred the line between the hearing aid and then earbud with the truly affordable.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. So it sounds like you guys, I'm assuming a little bit here, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but had to really think about a customer persona as to who would actually want this thing, as opposed to just going and get it at Apple AirPods or whatever. There's a lot out there. So walk me through a little bit on how you guys were thinking about that buyer persona and really thinking about just because you have a hearing aid doesn't maybe make you want to go this way. Maybe you don't have the stigma of wearing a hearing aid, or I guess just walk me through that thought pattern, because I think that's so crucial for a lot of startup companies to be thinking about who is actually going to buy this thing when we go to make it.
Exactly. So like Oli Pro is like mainly for the people like with the mild to moderately like severe hearing losses
Mhm.
people's like self-hearing calibration like with the application will make the great performance with the AI also like retargeting all-in-one function for everyone's ear, such as like we've installed the hearing management system into our application, which allow user to see, monitor how much noise they've been exposed to the like how long exposed to for how long does which environment you are. So
Mm.
this multi-management system like will help to prevent the hearing losses too. Moreover, will maintain the overall ear healthiness. Another point is that like many people are not so aware of their own hearing losses as well. So we recommend these to like everyone. Like they may be surprised like how the Olive Pro can help their lives.
That's very cool. Very cool. One of the things that we have seen just in a lot of companies or a lot of startups is just the struggle between hardware and then software, right? Just that merge, that balance, making
Absolutely.
it's a ton of resources, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
got to do both of
Absolutely.
them really, really well. So, in your
Mhm.
guys' experience, what were you guys mostly, maybe at the start focusing on, not where you are right now, but in the beginning where you're like, we want to really make sure this software works well, or is it more on the hardware? And then how do you start to integrate? All right, we really need both these two worlds to to work well together to give the full experience. Kind of walk us through how you were walking between those two platforms.
So like the the idea like of hearing aid, it's like because like we need to cut down the like the initial costs. It's like first of all, like as I said, like the hearing aid industry, like the problem of the market is like the price is really expensive, and
Mm.
then like there's like a big distribution chain, in order to like purchase a hearing aid, like the products. I mean the pipeline, like the distribution like a pipeline is like a starting from the headquarter and then distributor and like it goes to like consumer, and the why it goes to consumer there's like many steps, like it goes to
Sure.
audiologist, and then like you have to do the like a hearing test and like
Hmm.
feedings, and then like we gain the idea that we may be able to like eliminate like these resources like developing the sound algorithm using the DSP chips.
Mm.
And then that was like a beginning, and then like in order to do that, in order to like we had to like find like each of like a professional of the each field, and then like I guess like you're asking like I guess like we need like a really good balance between like a hardware and software, and then like but the initial like beginning was like developing the DSP chipset. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Now, I think one of the things again that we see quite a bit, and I love when project creators can speak on this is, you know, you can go way in depth on, like, let's just say the headphone part of it, right? Like, man, these are like the most crystal clear headphones on the planet. They do all of these bells and whistles. Oh, and we also have the hearing aid function. Or you could go like, these are the greatest hearing aids on the planet, but the speaker. So how do you again stand back and go, we want to make sure that this product is absolutely amazing. It does what we say it does. It fits into this price range, but without, getting into like, oh, these are, and I say this because I come from the audio world, right? Like I do live
Mhm.
audio for big professional stages, and I have my own custom in-ears, and I've spent the $1,500 on custom molds for my ears, right? That type of world. You don't want to go that far, but you don't want to go so far that it's not a good product. So when you guys are kind of developing, prototyping, all that stuff, what are you looking for to say, like, we've really skated very close to the line? This is an amazing product, and it doesn't go to the maybe the the pro audio in-ear guy. It also isn't just like, a high end hearing aid. It's this. It really, does these two things really, really well. How do you walk that line when you're making a product?
So like we have like developed the Bluetooth integration like amplifier circuit board. Like that was like initial things. Like we have to lower down the cost dramatically, like avoid the paying license fee and then distribution cost like initially I said, and then we eliminate the process like buying the hearing aid like unlikely conventional hearing aid like you need to fitting offline channels, and then with the doctors or audiologists, like in order to use like only pro, like you need no doctor nor like audiologist, and then like only the union like distribution chain was like much simplified than like conventional hearing aid, and then that brings the cost effect. So which allows like which allows only union to use like a best component, which is like a Noseman's microphone and balanced amateur speaker, and then like which is like the best of the audio, like a hi-fi audio, like we could just like made it. And then I mean like I can like I think that was like a really initial like, and then like we could like lower down the cost, like that's how region like we could select like a best of the components is, yeah.
Sure. That makes sense. So what's the timeline between, we've developed, this is what we want to go after, this is our target audience, to what we see right now in Indiegogo? How long is that process for you guys? How many months, years? How long did it take?
Um, I think like it's already like written in the like Indiegogo. Like we are on a, like a prototype process, and then like able to ship it like in the March. Yeah. So I mean like we have done like a successful campaign, like a crowdfunding campaign before in the year 2017. Like so we know the like general timeline how the things should go, and then we decided to launch the campaign after like we were confident with the initial software and hardware prototype. So and then we knew it like we could execute properly. So right now it's like just about like before the manufacturing. So yeah.
Okay. All right. What's the thing that is keeping you and your team up at night during this process? What is the thing that like, man, we got to really make sure we get this correct, right? Like, is there something like that?
I think listen to your backers, So I think like finding like a finest product fit, for the consumers, and then it's the most important based on market needs. And then we did a lot like a market study for the like a product fit, like a first and second generation for like several years, gathering the like feedbacks of the users, help us like find the best market fit, which makes only pro perfectly for the like a market demand. Although like these efforts like we are very although like those efforts like were very important like to our success, like surprisingly a lot of like backers like response with the excitement. So long story short, listen to your backers, I think.
Okay. Inside of this journey, where does the conversations though about crowdfunding start to fit in? Was it instant, or is it something that as you're making the prototyping and stuff, you're thinking, actually, we do want to take this to crowdfunding, or just go right to the market, right? Or did you guys always have crowdfunding in your mind that we wanted to do this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So like this say like this is like a second campaign, and then we are just again like overwhelmed like by the amount of supporters like we are getting it, and then like being hearing it like people would assume that like would perform like worse than like a regular earbud, like consumer electronic aimed for the like a general market. And then but like we raised like quite like amount of like a funds in a week, and then I think like every process like I mean like ever since like we start our business, like the Indiegogo campaign was like on in our mind that because like we are not sure about like this market, like a hearing aid industry especially, like there's tons of like there's like a six major player was like a dominant the markets, and then like we are like we kind of like knew about that there's like a market fit, but we need to make sure that the fits is right there, and then and then we just like we just give it a shot, and then I think it was like a really good chance, you know. And then like there's like many responses like from the backers, you know, like you should do this, we should do that, and then you know like based on the experiences, like and then like feedback, like we could resonate their like feelings, and then you know like we be able to just like provide like right market fit. So I think yeah, that's the answer for your question, I
That's
think.
cool.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
does like where do you start the process of photography, videography, and storytelling for the
Mm,
page in this process? Again, we work with a lot of projects who, you know, they may, you know, they don't want to shoot stuff, the prototype's not quite ready, you know, but where do you start to find like we need to start putting this story together, we need to start doing visuals so that when people go to this page, they get it, you
mm.
know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like like we knew that like like I think the mm, I think the like we have to like really prepare well. You know, like many people like start campaign like prematurely, and then like they mistook that that's like crowdfund campaign is. And then although crowdfunding is like you can sell the idea or product, it does not mean that people will back it up. The
Mhm.
thing is like incomplete, you know. Actually, like I think it's like the opposite, you know. Like since the people buying the idea and prototypes, and the backers are very like sophisticated actually, and then they need to like be able to like believe that like a company will execute well, and they're preparing like great material, and then making sure that consumers like can believe in you. And then you know it's very important for like crowdfunding campaigners. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Where did you, was there a determination between Indiegogo and Kickstarter? Like, were you, you know, you
Oh,
always, we want to do Indiegogo because of X, Y, and Z, or was there any
uh,
sort of conversation around that?
um, yeah. I mean, like, I I think like Indiegogo, like when we just like started Indiegogo, like Indiegogo was like you know like we had like a more chance to just like apply for the Indiegogo, because there like a many like many people like from the Indiegogo actually like communicated like, pretty well to us, you know.
Hmm.
And then I guess like that back then, you know, Indiegogo was like a kind of like a second tier compared to Kickstarter. So you know they would like to get like more chances, and then you know like we were just kind of lucky, like we met like a good people right there. And then you
Hmm.
know like they just like introduce us, you know, like a really good team. And then you know like this team like we be able to like advise us like what kind of like a backer strategy, and like what kind of like a pricing. And then you know, and then that was like that was the moment that we just like choose the Indiegogo, because like they were like a took taking like a care really well for us. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I hear that quite a bit. That the Indiegogo team is just they can be hands on
Yeah,
on
yeah,
good
yeah,
campaigns,
yeah.
which is awesome.
I mean, like, I don't know about the Kickstarter, so I mean, like,
Yeah,
don't get
Kickstarter not so
offenses.
much. It's hard to talk
Yeah,
to anybody there. We run lots
yeah.
of Kickstarters and they do not respond. They are in their own world.
Yeah,
The ball's in your court. So
yeah.
let's talk a
No
little bit.
comment on that.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
this is what we send a lot of emails out.
okay, okay.
So one of the things that again, a question we get all the time, and maybe you can shed light on it as well, is when did you guys know you were ready to launch? Were you looking for a data point? Were you looking for a timing in the year? When did you know, like, all right, this campaign, we've got a great product, we've got great assets, the story's good, you know, we've got an audience built, a crowd built, we're ready to launch. Did you guys have any of that sort of conversations to say we're ready to hit that launch button?
Like I think like the general timeline, like we are aware of that, like we are aware of that, like for the marketing launching. And then so we just like decided to launch in the campaign after like we're confident with the initial, like I say, like initial like software and product, like a hardware products. And then we know that like it's going to be well. So like I guess like a second prototype
Hmm.
like when it's ready. And then you know it's like we knew that like this one is killing, this one is like make a kill for the market. And then you know like we just give it a shot. Yeah,
That's cool. That's cool.
yeah.
So we actually, I mean, we haven't even discussed really the actual Indiegogo. Let me actually tell our listeners where you are right now. I mean, with 9 days to go while we're taping this, you're up over $718,000. A ton of
Mm,
backers, over 3,200 backers, which that's a lot of orders, which is awesome.
mm,
Um,
thank
you know,
you.
yeah. So I guess when you're standing back from this campaign, what is the biggest difference between this campaign to the second campaign? Like where do you stand back and go, well, this campaign did this well because of X, Y, and Z compared to maybe in the past, or do you even look at them as the same, or are you even going back and looking at like how do these campaigns sort of differ and what's the same? Where are you guys right now? And just looking at some of the data points between these two campaigns.
Um, I think I think like we were lucky in the like first campaign,
Mm.
like, and then yeah, that was like a really lucky. I think, I mean, like I don't really like want to say like it was lucky, but like I think the Indiegogo backers are like a really generous,
Mm.
and the backers were really generous, like in our idea, like disrupt the hearing aid market, like resonate their feelings, and then it's like it deliver the message like pretty well, and then that it leads to like amount of the like I think like 900,000 like fundraisers like at first with the first campaign like we did, and then yeah, and then like we got like many feedbacks, and then like we should just apply for like stereotypes and as well, and then like we are kind of like bring these ideas back to like a second campaign.
Mm.
So yeah, that's the. I mean, actually, like we choose like crowdfunding instead of going to straight to the like a market, because of the biggest thing like we wanted to give it back to Indiegogo community. It's like because like where the company started year 2016, like we not be here like without them, and then like we
Right.
thought like coming back to the same community like with the significantly like evolved the product would be a great way to like show the appreciation. Like also like crowdfunding allows to like see the demand for the like a product before the manufacturing logistics, like so it allows like hear the customer voice and skills, which also like help us develop our strategies. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Has there been anything that stood out in this campaign that you're kind of blown away with? Like, oh, we've got a bunch of backers in Germany, or is there a country, or is just something that you're like, man, we did not expect this in this campaign?
Um, well, I mean, like that's I mean, like still like a majority like from the like United States like carry the most of the volume, but like of course there's like a surprise that like unexpected countries too, unexpected countries too. But I mean, like we have a like a very communicating really well with the backers, and then these like there's like very like interesting messages.
Mm.
It's like being a hearing aid, like you would assume that like we perform like worse than like a regular earbud, like a consumer electronic aim, like for the general market, right? But however, like we did like a range amount of fun, and then and then like we also like being able to hear the backers voice. They want Olive Union to like staying on the agile of the changing the hearing aid industry.
Mm.
And then I think they just like time to like I think they believe there is a time like we are planning to pivot in the like disruptive time ahead in the hearing aid industry. Like they want like Olive Union to be like Netflix of our industry. And then like our biggest like objective Olive Pro is going to the market entire category obsolete for like a mild to moderate hearing losses. This kind of like a message is like a really like cheer us up and like boost it up. Yeah.
That's cool. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. So, what is happening, or what's been happening in the middle of this campaign to sort of keep the energy up? And a lot of times in crowdfunding campaigns, you have a big push in the beginning, and you have a slower middle, and you have a bigger push at the end. What have you guys been doing to just make sure that the energy has been staying up, day after day when you get to that middle of the campaign?
I think like you have to like update well, like to the backers that like we are executing well, like so
Mm.
we keep on like communicating with them like weekly basis, and then like this is how it's happening, and then things, of course like there's like Indiegogo team internally, like we just communicate with them as well, and then with them as well, like take their advices, and of course like we try to like we try communicates a lot, and then
Mm.
also like we just like try to, of course like we use like we have like a great PR team, and then like I try to bring the more audiences, like a new audiences to the like our campaign, and then and then get connected each other. Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
what we do. Like keep on communicating. Yeah, it's important
That's cool.
with the
Well, let's flip
backers.
over to like a big topic for a lot of bigger crowdfunding campaigns, and that's shipping worldwide. Was there
Uh,
how are you guys managing and handling, all of that potential headache? Because I will be frank, and I've talked about this many times in the podcast. I think I killed 2 or 3 companies early in my career because we just didn't do shipping and handling
yeah,
correctly, right? Like
yeah,
it can
yeah, yeah,
be a
yeah,
monster to tackle.
yeah,
So
yeah.
how do you guys approach it? How do you guys think about it? To make sure that
Uh,
you're not, losing a ton of money, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You you have to really be careful on that. And like we have like a really uh, I mean like we have a bad time with that too in the first generation as well.
Mm,
But now it's like currently like we're selling like a previous generation like only Pro, which is like in the United States, Canada, and like a UK, and then Japan and Korea, and then we sell like a through the existing online offline sales channel in those countries, as well as like work open up to new channels like reaching more people with our products. So like we are using like current logistics system like with the partners located in the United States and
mm,
international. But the my piece of advice is like to the other people like preparing for the Indiegogo for the shipping is like you have to really like set up the logistics correctly per like a regional basis, and then you know yeah,
yeah,
that's really important. But like
certainly.
nowadays like there's like a lot of suppliers or staff, so like it's not that difficult as compared as before. So yeah, but you're right, Jeff. Like if you're not like set up properly, like you lose a tons of money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because
Yes, you can.
there's like a custom issues too. Like a legal issue, like
Hmm.
legal custom issue and like language issues, and you have to like go through everything. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
tariffs,
easy.
just forgetting about the
Yeah,
tariffs. Oh, we're shipping to this country and it's an extra
yeah,
20
yeah,
bucks. Oh
exactly,
no.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
a lot of stuff.
Be careful with
So,
Canada. Yeah,
yeah, I know. Yeah, we
yeah,
experienced that. So, so the
yeah.
campaign ends in, roughly about 9 days or so. Money starts
Mm-mm.
to drop in all the accounts and all that stuff. You kind of just take a deep breath. What starts to happen to get these their earbuds out into your backers' hands? What starts the process for you guys?
Um, Yeah, so like I said, like we have like a logistics system, like we have like online, like online and offline, like ready. Like we have like a Shopify and like Amazon's like ready for the online, and offline. We just like sign up with the big retailers, and then I don't think Amanda is going to be happy if I spoil that. So and then like that's for the United States, like a pipeline is
Mm,
ready, and then also like we have like big Canada distributor in UK, and then Japan and Korea as well. So online is the same for every countries, but like offline like we have like different like partners. So
hmm.
yeah. And then we also like want to expand the country, especially the country like I have many sales sales in this time campaign, like such as European countries, and then other English territory countries like such as Singapore. Yeah,
Hmm. That's cool. Very,
yeah.
very cool. How about like walk us through what this next maybe 2 to 3 years looks like for you guys as a company? Is it continuing to go down more and more products like this? Is it expanding out? And we don't have to get into specifics of it, but just where do you guys sort of see your roadmap going for the future of the company?
So like of course like we're going to increase like a more SKU, like
Mm,
right now it's like a covering like a moderate to mild to moderately severe hearing losses, but we're going to like we're going to like make like one more SKU for like a severe hearing losses.
mm,
And then
that's cool.
well, I mean like a severe hearing losses, like people like need to buy they need a cost like around like a 6,000 like 5,000. But we of course like we want to just provide like a much more like a much more like affordable price to compare that. And then there's like we also like a mention about the we also like a comment about the like a tinnitus and deafnesses, and then like everything related to the ears. So like we want to like provide like a multi-management system like for the preventing hearing loss too, and then moreover like a maintain overall like ear healthness, so
Mm,
we want to be a like a top tier like healthcare groups. And then and then need to not only like a hardware, but we also like we need to provide like a good software as well, like in order to do that, like a digital therapeutics kind of stuff. So yeah, that's our like in 2 years probably, like a software is like going to launch I think in July. Yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Man, it sounds
Yeah.
like innovative products in this space. It seems like you can go a lot of different directions. Well, let's flip over.
Yep.
Instead of talking about crowdfunding and earbuds, let's just break it down and let's do 5 quick lightning round questions here. So my first one is, what have you been watching in the Netflix, Hulu? You know, has there been a TV show you're watching right now that's been really good?
Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, I agree. That was a solid one. My wife and I finished up that. It was so good.
Yeah, that was blasting. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
How about has there been a movie though? I know that, you know, that was like a 12-parter or whatever it is, 8-part, you know, but how about has there been a movie that you've watched recently?
Like have you watched like the Parasite?
Is it good?
Parasite, like they won the Oscar. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
It's pretty
like
good. Okay.
Thrillers.
All right.
I recommend you watch it. Yeah.
Okay. How about books? You reading anything right now?
No rules.
Okay. What's that one about? I haven't heard of that one.
It's about like a recent Hastings, you know, like a Netflix Netflix like a founders.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there? I'll check that one out too.
Yeah. It's a good book. It's a good book. I love it. Yeah.
Okay. How about podcasts? I mean, I know you listen to this podcast all the time. You're super #1 fan, but is there any other podcasts that you might be listening to right now?
Only you, man. Only you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big fan of Fuzz. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate those shout outs. How about anything else?
I can't lie.
Yeah. Nothing else out there?
Yeah, it's like nothing else out there, you know, like a COVID situation, like a pretty bad, you know, and then like we are like a Olive Union is facing like a big challenge, you know, like we are kind of like preparing for the IPO like the year 2023, and then you know like that's a really big goal like for the company and for the organization and myself as well. So I want to just like stay calm, you know, just like study about that, you know, like I just like rather listen to more the like a feedback from the like backers, like our audiences. So you know, it's like I mean like I'm guess like I think like 19 hours, like probably like 19 hours per day, like just focus on the work. So you know, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's good. Very cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, where can people kind of dive into your world? You know, where can they go to check out your products? Obviously, we'll send them the Indiegogo page and stuff, but how can they go? Where should they go to get into your guys' world?
Oh yeah, so like Olive Pro, like a new version of product, like pre-order is like available in the Indiegogo, of course. And then if you want to check out the other products, like go to oliveunion.com, and then there's like a previous model, like which is like called Olive Smart Ear, and then that works great too. You know, it's like it's kind of we already sold like 100,000 units like around the world last year, so that works well, and then that is like available like once you just order, like you should get it, you can get it and give it a try. And then like we also providing 90 days like a free trial, so like if you don't like it, you know, like feel free to just like feel free like give us like opinion, just send it back to us, and then you're welcome. Yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Well, amazing campaign. I'm really glad we got a chance to talk. I was following you guys from afar over here in Detroit, and it's just an amazing product. And I always love it when I see something that's like, I've never seen that before. That's very intriguing. And I love what you guys are doing here. So I encourage all you guys out there, if you're listening, go over to Indiegogo right now, check it out, become a backer, and it's a great job on this. And I look forward to seeing other projects in the future. Good luck with everything. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Bye now. How about that conversation? Man, we got into it. It was a good one. So thanks again so much. If you guys are thinking about backing this, go check it out right now. Go over to Indiegogo. There's only a few days left in the campaign. Even just be a Gawker backer. Put $1 in and just watch what's happening in the campaign. See how the communication's happening. Very, very cool stuff. So, man, we got our first episode in the books, but we've got our new musical section here, right? We're not going to listen to a Sugar People song to end this. So if you've gotten to this point, man, we've got an extra treat for you. We're going to be listening to the Balkun Brothers. This was recorded about 6 years ago at GBS. It's all live. Everything you're hearing was done in one take, because that was our motto: one band, one room, one take, right? So yeah, enjoy it. Check it out. I'll be coming at you Thursday this week with another episode. So, all right, guys. Yeah, here we go. Let's enjoy the Balkun Brothers.
Got my boots on, going for a walk. Turn my thoughts on, gonna have a talk. Talk with myself, talk with my soul. But my soul saying, Lord, I'll never know. I'ma keep on walking till the setting sun. Yeah. I'ma keep on walking till the day is done. Yeah. I'ma keep on strolling around now, 'cause Lord knows that I got my boots on. Hey! Going downtown, thinking of you. Take my pen out, write a line or two. Singing my song, sing from my soul. What my soul said, Lord, I'll never know. But I'ma keep on walking till the setting sun. Yeah. I'ma keep on walking till the day is done. Yeah. I'ma keep on strolling around now. Lord knows that I got my boots on. Yeah. got my boots.